All right, we are live here. We were trying to get live on YouTube, Facebook, but unfortunately the mic wasn't working. So I'm going to record this and then post this to replay, and I'm going to be on for the premiere. So this is for the live premiere. If you happen to be catching this in the replay, super stoked you are here as well. Super grateful that you're here for this episode of Can You Become a Graphic Designer Online? And so really what I'm talking about a lot is right now and lately on my channel is becoming a graphic designer. Last week I talked about the career of a graphic designer, what that looks like, what the pursuit is, but this week is focused primarily on the becoming of a graphic designer. And so for this stream, I would love to have your questions. I would love to get those in the comments below or on the premiere. There's gonna be a little comment section. You can jump in on the premiere and check that out. Super grateful if you're on the premiere with me, but otherwise post those questions below, share this out, throw me a like, whatever it might be, in order to get this into the hands of more people wanting to become graphic designers. So that's the first thing. Who is this stream for? So this stream is for really anybody who wants to become a graphic designer, anybody who's not interested in spending $35 to $75K on a brick and mortar degree or more. Some degrees I've talk to some friends who've spent $100,000+ on a design degree. You're about to graduate from high school, or you're looking to switch careers. So maybe you're somebody who's in the midst of your career and you're wanting to make a change. You're wanting to, pivot into a new career. This is the stream for you. This is the video for you. What I'm primarily going to offer you today, and I'm super stoked about this. I've been throwing around this idea for a while, but I'm getting pretty confident that I want to do it. And this is the Online Graphic Design University. Now, what this is going to be is an entire course built for you. And what I want to focus on is 4 aspects. So I forgot how many aspects I had. 4 aspects. I want to focus on live interaction, feedback on your projects, goal setting, and career mentorship. Now, through this video, we're going to talk about what it looks like to learn from home to become a graphic designer. That's the point of this video. Can you become a graphic designer self-taught? Can you do that on your own? And so what does this mean though? Basically, live interaction is something you experience in a classroom. I think that's super important. Feedback is something you receive from a teacher on your projects. Goal setting is where you're trying to go as a graphic designer, and that career mentorship is how you're going to get there. So I'm going to throw this back up on the screen here. If this is something that you would be interested in, this is Online Graphic Design Universities, in a sense is what it is. You can click the link below this video, or you can text Design Online FB. So Design-Online FB to 44222. Now, here's the dinger. If I get at least 25 people to come on the Facebook group and say, yes, I will sign up for this, I want to be in the university, I want to be in the Design Online University, then I will start this program almost immediately. As soon as I can get some of the resources together and start filming the videos and putting out the content, I will start that. So if you're interested in, it will not launch until you take action. That is super important. So let's jump into the first slide, and that would be, is university valuable? So what is the value of going to graphic design school? Well, there's a few things I just talked about, and that is mentorship, feedback, direction, and tools. Okay, so those are really the big things. What does it take to become a successful graphic designer? That's what it takes. It takes those 4 things. Now, what if you want to do this on your own? You want to be self-taught. You want to be what I consider a nomad graphic designer. Well, that takes the same thing. And what I find so often is that people don't get the correct mentorship, they don't get the correct tools and feedback in order to make their design education, self-taught, effective. And so you have the potential, in my opinion, to be a digital nomad, to be a nomad graphic designer. And this is the official term for nomad, a member of a people having no permanent abode who travel from place to place to find fresh pasture for their livestock. Now, as it concerns to a graphic designer, what you are doing is taking your skills, which is your livestock, from place to plant at a company, at an event, whatever it might be, to then be at that fresh pasture. So that's where the design takes place. So your skills, the livestock, meets the pasture, the designs that are needed. And so that is, for me, what it means to be a nomad as a graphic designer, and what you seem to be wanting to be doing as a self-taught designer. You don't need the brick and mortar university. You don't need the classroom, but what you need is the skills. And so really in my Nomad School of Design is what I'm kind of game planning it to be called. There's 6 key aspects: principles, philosophy, skill, vision, and mentorship. That is what it takes to become a graphic designer, to become a successful financially and skill-wise graphic designer. And so we're going to kind of jump through these slides. We're going to talk about each one of these aspects so you understand what does it take to become that graphic designer that I want to become. First and foremost, it's the principles. The Bauhaus. This is where a lot of the design principles were really nailed down. Obviously, as we learned last week on the graphic design career, it was Mr. William Dwiggins, who was the founder of the name graphic design. He put a term to the practice, and that was graphic design. But then we move into Bauhaus. And Bauhaus was where a lot of these principles took shape. A lot of these principles became known for what they are today. And so what is the point of the principles? Well, the point of the principles is understanding the elements of design, the application of said elements, rules governing the principles, and when to break those rules. That is the foundation of a graphic designer, is his principles, is her principles. And so getting those principles from a design school or getting those principles from a design education is level 1. And there's a lot of great programs out there that can do that for you, getting those principles nailed down. The philosophy is really foundational block number 2. And what is the philosophy? And what is it and where does it come from? Well, again, the person who founded the Bauhaus was a guy named Walter Gropius. All right, and Walter Gropius was basically the leader of a large group of individuals who founded this school in Germany. And their goal was to create a systemized way in order to do design to get the best design possible. So we can thank this man for really spearheading some good, solid design fundamentals and principles right off the bat. So understanding why does the why govern the work and the application of the why? That's the purpose of philosophy in graphic design. So principles, philosophy, the two come together and you start to have an understanding of how you're doing it and what you're doing. And without those two things, you're basically somebody who understands the skill set of a graphic designer. So Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, talking about the tools in your arsenal of graphic design. InDesign, maybe you're going to get into some motion design, so After Effects, or maybe you're going to be, including some video into your graphic design portfolio. I don't know what that is down the road, but my point is, how are you going to use those tools? What are you going to do with those tools? And that's the philosophy and the principles. So next we're moving into the tools as we just talked about. So the tools are essential to conduct the application of the principles and the philosophy. That is the purpose of the tools. And we all know this big shiny symbol. This is the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite. This is what I learned. When I got into graphic design, we had just rolled into CS2. So that's how, oh goodness, that's how old I am. So CS2 was what I was learning on when I got to graphic design school. In graphic design school, what takes place there? You got computers, you got your software, and perhaps you have a camera, drawing tablet, mouse, etc. So those are the tools. So we understand kind of what we're needing to build out in our skill set to become a successful graphic designer. We're up to 3. We got philosophy, principles, and tools. All right. So if you don't have all 3 of those, your foundation is going to be thrown off. So you're going to be leaning in this way, you're going to be leaning that way. You could be a great philosopher and a great principle type of person, guy or gal, but if you don't understand how to use those tools to get your vision out there, you've got nothing. Same goes with the other way around. If you understand the tools but have no philosophy, no principles, you got nothing. All right, so we'll keep moving through these slides here, keep me on track. And the next would be the skills. Perfect practice makes perfect. Learning in a vacuum is dangerous, and tested, graded, pushed, and encouraged design is how you're going to become a flourishing and successful graphic designer. So perfect practice, what does that mean? That means understanding the principles, understanding the philosophy, and practicing on that level. Learning in a vacuum, that is the fact of you're learning, but nobody's seeing, nobody's testing, nobody's grading, nobody's pushing your work to the next level. And that is what I see so often in a lot of design courses, is that people follow the tutorials, they learn the skills, but they have nobody to look and kind of give them feedback on the design. Quick reflection on my, stint in graphic design school. The most effective way that I received growth was feedback from my students, my peers, my friends, and from my instructor. That was probably the most valuable piece of the design school, was having that feedback, having a professional look at my work, critique it, grade it, and improve upon it. And every time it was critiqued, I hated it, but it was the essential element that it took right here to grow my skills. Vision. What do I mean by that? A lot of these kind of seem convoluted, like they could all be in the same category, but vision is a totally different piece. Vision is understanding what is next. So what's on the horizon, whether that would be a new tool, a new design style. I can't tell you that every single day what's coming out, but you can train yourself and you can put it into your mental bank in order to know, okay, I need to be looking for what's coming next. I need to be looking to see what is coming, to execute on the next big thing. The difference between seeing and executing are two very different things. You can see great design, you can see where design is going, but if you can't get on board with that, if you can't say, okay, that's where design is going, I'm going to produce design like that, again, you're missing a key element of what it means to be a successful graphic designer. Always learning, developing your skills. You are a forever student. That is the big piece that people often miss in graphic design, is they get their skill sets and they kind of kick back on their laurels and never take it to that next level each year at a time. And so having vision is a really essential piece to your design education, and having that fostered to continue to be looking for that. All right, this one is what I would consider probably the most instrumental piece in my career, education career. So a little background on me. I know I jumped right in. A little background on me. I just totally started there. Background on me. Graphic designer. I got my bachelor's and my master's degree from a brick and mortar university. So I understand the experience of being at the university and what I needed, and honestly, some of what I didn't need. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm wanting to help you get from point A to point B, kind of the stepping stone. And then also, if you're interested, like I said earlier in this stream, to go ahead and jump on that Facebook group, design-online-Facebook, text that to 44222, and that will get you signed up for the graphic design school that I'm looking to start. If somebody's interested, I'm starting it. I mean, that's really where I'm at. I know that I only want to dive into some things. There's so much going on in my life right now. I only want to dive into some of these things if I know that you're ready for that and you want that mentorship and that design education. Mentorship. All right. So this is, like I said, is the number one thing that you need as a designer. It is something that has gone out the window, and it is something that I didn't realize I was receiving while I was in school. One of my favorite instructors, we'll call him Mr. T because his last name did start with a T. And Mr. T was amazing. I could step into his office almost any time, any day. As long as he wasn't in a meeting, his door was open. And he took me from a person who enjoyed photography, who didn't quite understand what he wanted to do with his life, to somebody with a vision, with a purpose, and ready to attack the graphic design industry for what my vision was and what I wanted to do. He helped me shape that vision. And that's really the mentorship aspect of graphic design that we're starting to see a resurgence. Really, the Industrial Revolution really took a hard hit on that. You saw a lot of apprenticeship up until that time, and then you really saw a lot of people going to school, becoming factory workers, and really settling into this systematic education to job mentality. And so, like I said, my success as a graphic designer has been truly mentorship, and it's something that I want to see happening in the field. And so that is a part of the Nomad Design School. And so that is something that I'm really excited about offering to design students who don't want to go to a brick and mortar school, but want to get the quality education that they would receive there. And so again, online graphic design university, this is where I see the future of design education. This is where I want to take it. And so click the link below the video or text design online-FB to 44222. And I want to see you guys over in that Facebook group. And if I can get 25 people in there, we're starting. We are totally starting. So last but not least, I want to recap on the Nomad School of Design, and that is principles, philosophy, tools, skill, vision, and mentorship. That is the key to a successful design education, to becoming a successful graphic designer. Without those 6 principles, you're going to have a bit of a shaky foundation. I'm excited to see you in the Facebook group. Definitely come over, join that. Let's get started. Let's start a conversation, and I would love to produce this, but I need some people in there. So come join me and let's get started on this. I will see you guys on the next episode. I'm super stoked that you came out today. Again, live stream every week. We had a little bit of trouble on the actual live aspect of it this week, but not to fear. I'm going to get that figured out, and we'll get things moving forward on making sure that that does not happen again. So again, Benji Kaiser of benjikaiser.com, and I will see you guys on the next episode.